tack weld on this thing. We're going to ground to the pump, not the pickup. Like about there. We need plenty of speed, so something like that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, that'll work. Run that. Quality. All right, so we've got our oil pump taken care of, pan, depth set, all that. One rod and one piston together here because we had one piston. This is a, yeah, so we had one piston here, broke ring in it, and it got the ring land pretty good. Brand new piston. They actually sent me, Engine Tech actually sent me a ring set with it too. That's pretty cool. I've done this several times before, just replacing one bad piston, and I've never gotten the ring with it. That's cool. That would have came in handy sometimes, but not this time because I've got a full set for it. But anyway, we've got one piston. See, here's the rings that are left over from the set that I've bought, and here is the rod bearing left over from the set. So we got to heat up this rod and press this piston together onto this. Just like that. Voila. Got it a little hot, but I didn't want to get halfway in there and the pin cool the rod down and whack it out. When you first put that together, it transfers some heat from the rod to the pin. Yes, it's hot or warm. But when you first put that in there, it transfers heat from the rod to the pin. The pin gets a little bit bigger, it gets tight in the piston. Then the piston warms up with it, and then it all cools down. And when it all cools down, the pin is lock-jawed into the rod and spins, floats freely in the piston. Floating in the piston with no lock, but not in the rod. This is a typical good old-fashioned press fit connecting rod. I haven't messed with a press fit connecting rod in quite a while. One new slug. I'm trying to get cocky and it ain't working. Okay, so there is the scraper ring installed, dry. Compression ring, symmetrical ring, no top down indicator on it. And we'll put that in there. Already done 7 of these like this and installed them in the short block, as you've already seen. And I'm just now slowing down to really start videoing any of this, or really planning on making a video about any of this because it's such an unremarkable engine that I'm building. But inspect this piston that good before I just started rolling with it. But I've got a little bit of a hiccup here where the ringland took a hit there and it is pinched. Pretty common thing to see, be honest with you, when you're. So I'll just have to massage that a little bit and get that out of there and make sure this is all low here and get this ring spinning good. So how do we fix that, you ask? Quite simple, really. It's not much that's causing it, and so I'm just coming through here with a razor blade, working this lip to get that out of there. And of course I'm gonna have to take this, I'm gonna take these 2 rings off here and clean this really good. I'm just kind of being hasty right here, but on this, I've been working on this a little bit, and it just took maybe 5 minutes of just massaging with it, playing with it, and then cleaning it up. It took me longer to clean it than it did to actually fix it. Now that we fixed that, pick up where we left off. We got this ring on here now, and I'm going to align my grooves, and that's how I'm gonna install it. Just kidding, y'all freaking out. But I'm just gonna hit a little, I just use WD because this thing's it's not sitting long at all. So as a matter of fact, as soon as I'm done building it, we're gonna fire it up on a stand. Some guys are absolutely drowning these things in oil and whatever. Motor oil works good to put them together, but people just go way over the top with it. And so there it is. Super uneventful deal, working right along, working through the issues we're having. Not really issues, just normal stuff that's going on. The last rod and piston in this thing that we've repaired, and then we're on to top end. The short block is complete. All right, there it is. There she is. So we'll torque this thing up. It's at 45 pounds. Normally you hit this thing twice. I would do like 20, 25 pounds and then hit the 45. I've got it at about 20 pounds right now. I just know, you know what I mean? I can just tell. 45 and 45. There she is. It's like a little oddball, but that's what she needed. That's what she got. It's not a problem at all. Done it many times. One piston and stuff up. Whoa, my God. Nate, that ain't the same piston, dude. They don't make that anymore, at least not to my knowledge. I can't find one of them. So here we are. What is this guy doing? That's not the same piston. Because, you know, people are going to have a lot to say because it's just not this is not a high caliber deal. And it's not a super professional rebuild. We'll get to see how that translates in this thing running. Pretty good. So I know without a shadow of a doubt that this engine will run and for a while, and it will run good. And I'm not concerned with any of these things that you're seeing. Is this the highest caliber engine I've ever built in my life? Far from it. Just because I've got the pieces, yeah, for sure would put this together and run it. And
please. Oh, there you are.
Hey, buddy.
What happened to your...
Dude, I almost cut my whole hand off. I didn't do it on purpose. So this is actually the first time in my life I've used a gasket here. Never have I put a gasket on the oil pump flange in my life. Full disclosure. But it came with one. So here's what I'm doing. Super simple. The only mark I'm really looking for is like 32 to 36 degrees advance. So I've got a 0 mark, and then I'm gonna make a 32 mark. So how do you do that? With a OEM damper, and we got a 0 mark, and I've moved 16 roughly. I mean, don't give me, you know, don't be talking out your neck in my comment section, but I'm about 16 degrees there. So I'll make a little temporary mark at 0 just so that I can grab a hold of this thing. Now I know that at my 0 mark here, I'm 16 and 16, which is 32. So I know that this is a 32 degree advance mark here on my harmonic balancer. Now we've got a 0 mark and a 32 degree advanced mark, and we'll be able to time. So we're just kicking it old school with this one, with just some cork. Yeah, we're just using a cork oil pan gasket on this deal. Nothing wrong with that. There it is. It's got an oil pan on it. So now we flip this thing back over for the last time. So she's ready for some cylinder heads. So what does that mean? That means I gotta work these heads over. Golly. you know, they were in good enough shape that I was good with rebuilding them instead of getting a new set. Because if I was gonna put a set of heads on it, I would have either had some like double humps or something of that nature sitting around, but I don't right now. So it would be an aluminum head. I'm not buying a set of aluminum heads for this thing. So this is what we've got. So it's got two bad valves in it, 2 pitted valves. So I've bought 2 valves. I've got a set of valve seals. Yes, shocker. I'm gonna put valve seals in it, just umbrella style. And a set of Z28 optional valve springs with a retainer that's just included with that. These are just Chinese copycats of Z28 valve springs. So they drive anyway. It's about 120 on the seat and almost 300 open, so it's a acceptable valve spring for a mechanical flat tappet, especially. Right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm actually gonna go ahead with the lifters in this thing to get this. I'll just put them in there and then I'll start working on the heads. I don't know if I'll finish them tonight. Yeah, but anyway, it's a comp cam mechanical lifter. Take that for whatever it's worth to you. I mean, I ain't had any issues with them. I've never flattened a cam on break-in in my life. So this whole deal about everybody saying that everything's just junk now and you just can't do a flat tappet cam, I don't know. I haven't done a flat tappet cam in a while, so this will be a good test because I've never. All right, now that I've used absolutely way too much of the with that, so I'm just gonna roll on. Got 2 new valves here to put these guys on the bench because that made it into the stem on these, and that sketches me out. That stem has lost some diameter. There they go. Oh! So there they are. 2 new valves. It's going to do what it's supposed to do. So, alright, so I'm setting them up. I'm not shimming them right now. This is the first time I've ever done that in my life. I'm setting them up loose to run it in, and then once I break this thing in, I've already measured my installed height and know where it's at, and then whenever I break it in, I'll put my shim combo in there and tighten it on up. A couple boat anchor heads with some Chinese remade Chinese copycat Z28 optional springs. I didn't do, you know, screw in studs. I didn't tap and I didn't drill out and dowel out my studs. I didn't do none of that. So we'll see how that goes. Work. What is that? You just hit the freaking go button on it? No way.